And government employers are splitting heads of proposals to increase the retirement age from the current 60 years. Now, the review is part of measures to deal with the declining contributions of SNIT pension scheme. But Employment and Labour Relations Minister Ignatius Bafewa believes the nation should be cautious about this move because of its impact on employment.
Pensions. I appreciate it, and I want to encourage such more discourse on pensions. We are not perfect. We learn on daily basis. So you do one thing, people review it, and they come up with issues, and then you re-evaluate and then re-strategize to see how best you deal with it. And I'm happy that for the first time we've taken a bold step to be able to implement Act 766, which is the new pension regime, which is a deviation from the traditional pensions we know, that which was managed mainly by SNIT, where you take both your lump sum and your monthly pension allowances from one institution. This time, we have opened what we call occupational pension schemes, where businesses indicate whom they want to manage their second tier and third tier pensions, and therefore even as you go on retirement, you do not have to rely on SNIT for them to give you the bulk payment, but then you go to your occupational pension institution that has managed your funds, because you yourself manage it and then you ask them to supervise it for you. So if you invest well, you earn well. If you don't invest well, you don't earn well. Yes, so for me, it is the best.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of the Ghana Employers Association, that is Alex Frimpong, says the current challenges facing the SNIT pension scheme justify this review.
Well, I think that discussion is long overdue, because all over the world there has been a significant discussion concerning the retiring age. And in Europe, for instance, I'm sure the minimum is about 65 and they are moving to even 68. So Ghana pegged their retiring age at 60 based upon certain assumptions regarding life expectancy. Times have changed. Life expectancy has improved. The health system has improved. Development has also changed the environment for doing business. So there will be the need for us to review the retiring age. You see, the discussion becomes more emotional, especially in the situation where you realize that many employees, many graduates are not getting employment, and they think that once you get to 60, you should give way to the others. It doesn't work like that. The fundamental problem has to do with the improvement of the national economy. Once the economy expands and grows, young, old, everybody will get a role to play. So for me, what is most important is that it is not about the age. Because if you look at the statistics of those who are leaving and those who are entering, I think they don't match. If about 20,000 people retire every year, you have no more than 300,000 people entering the labor market. So I'm not sure that is the issue. The fundamental issue has to do with the expansion of the economy and the prospect of employment opportunities.
Let's go virtual and more development on this. Let's engage Labour consultant Austin Game on what he makes of these development. Thank you, sir, for joining us via Zoom. And for you, let me first ask you, what do you make of this whole development on this pension scheme? Mr. Game, if you can hear me, my question is, what do you make of this whole current debate on this pension scheme?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hope you can hear me too.
Loud and clear. What do you make of this whole debate on this pension scheme, sir?
Let's be brutal for them. But recalling how, as one of the commissioners, we sat for many years to prepare and write the pension scheme, the intent and the spirit behind the pension scheme, we do know that our economy can and have been expanding gradually, but we are not doing what we anticipated. And therefore, if we want to push the retiring age merely on assumption, which is not totally complete, that life expectancy has improved in Ghana, and therefore there is room for people to stay longer on the job, from 60 to about 65, I think I differ a little bit from that. We have an army of unemployed young people in this country, and if we do not take care to make room for them to be also employed, I think we will have a controversy on our hand that we cannot be able to handle. I agree that governments must expand the economy to enable us to employ many more people. But when you are 60 and you have worked for about 25, 30 years, it's enough. Go on retirement. The experience you have, if you have the creativity and skill on your hand, be able to do something on your own. At my age, 71, by next week or so, if not because I have a certain skill or experience to be able to do what I'm doing, I should be working so that the young people will not get work to do. It's not fair. So I think that, to be honest with you, and brutally frank with you, the spirit behind the pension scheme, the occupational pension scheme, the SNIT pension, and the third tier is to make room for people to have some reasonable amount of money to expand into something else themselves, and then we make room for our graduates to be employed, and other people who have skills and are not even graduates who can be employed to be employed. But so I think I differ with them. 60, please find your way home and let somebody else be employed.
Prof, are we then drawing the analogy that when, for instance, a director of finance at the Bank of Ghana goes on retirement, a George Jaffe who has finished his national service can be employed in that role?
If you have, that's why we have training and development of skills. That's why we have mentoring and coaching. If an employer is lazy and he cannot mentor and coach his people for them to be able to fit in, we need people with certain genius qualities to be trained and prepared to take up jobs in higher levels. We shouldn't make people who are young people and who are working to be marking time wherever they are. We should be able to raise them up to take over from whoever is there. Otherwise, when you die, won't they bury you and somebody else will come and do the job? So people who have that experience, some of them have died, and the job is being done. So please, let's prepare people to take over, and let's stop hiding behind that.
Mr. Game, finally, before you go, one of the reasons why this proposal has come up is the challenge with the SNIT pension scheme. For you, what is the best way out in addressing it if we're not allowing people to stay longer and contribute more to it before we go, sir?
It's even a little bit more annoying to hear that. The point is that SNIT, those who are managing SNIT have a responsibility. If they can't manage, get out and let somebody else come there. Whoever is managing as a fund manager, managing the second tier, must manage well. Please, it is an enterprise-based occupational scheme. Workers must take their destiny into their hands and ensure that the portfolios in which they invest this money have a good yield. And the third tier, equally the same. They are not meant to occupy space and make money for somebody. Please, need people, if you can't manage, please honorably get down and let somebody else go and manage. We should stop mismanaging the funds. I'm sorry.
Austin Game is a labor consultant. Thank you so much for your thoughts.